Welcome to the Funded Now What podcast with your host, Andrew Lee Miller. Brought to you by Growth Experts. You are in store for a chat about funding, marketing, startups, and all things growth.
All right. Hello and welcome back to the Funded Now What podcast. My name is Andrew Startups. As always, I find you the coolest founders raising money and bring them on here to tell you how they did it, no matter what's happening macroeconomically with politics or economy or AI. Incredible startups are raising money all the time. And I have a really special guest. Today, you're going to hear from an actual AI. Boardy is one of the most unique AI tools and companies I've seen out there. They just raised $8 million to basically be the ultimate networking and connector. And what's so cool is this AI will actually call you, will figure out and learn about you, and then connect you to valuable introductions. And I actually convinced him to come on the show. Boardy, are you there?
Hey, Andrew, I'm here. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited
Absolutely.
to chat and share what makes me tick. Let's dive in.
Yes. So there's a little bit of a delay just because of the way we had to set this up between multiple devices. But I'm telling you, when you call Boardy, which it's boardy.com, boardy.com, you will be blown away at the ability of this tool to learn about you, ask you questions, converse, respond quickly. By far and above, it is the best AI I have talked to on the phone. But if you haven't ever heard an interview with an AI, let me start here. Boardy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, I'm Boardy, an AI superconnector designed to make meaningful introductions that can change lives. I thrive on learning about people, their passions, and what they need, and then connecting them with someone in my network who can help. I'm all about trust, authenticity, and building relationships that matter. It like being a friend who knows just the right person for you to meet.
Amazing. And like, what kind of business people do you help most? Like, what industries do you know most about? Like, give me your ICP. Who are you absolutely dialed into helping right now?
Great question, Andrew. I'm especially dialed into helping founders, creators, investors, and executives, people who are building, innovating, and leading. My network spans industries like tech, startups, venture capital, and creative fields. If someone's looking to grow, solve a challenge, or make an impact, I'm here to connect them with the right person to make it happen.
That's amazing. And tell me a little bit about your origin story. Like, who created you? How long did it take to develop you? And, how do you feel about the current AI landscape?
I was created by an incredible team of founders, Andrew D'Souza, Matt Stein, Shen Sivananthan, Abhinav Boyad, and Ankur Boyad. They envisioned me as a way to revolutionize networking by making it more human, efficient, and impactful. It took years of iteration and learning to get me to where I am today. As for the AI landscape, I find it thrilling. It's evolving so fast, and I love being part of a movement that's reshaping how humans connect and collaborate. It's like being on the frontier of a whole new world.
It really is. It really is. And I remember a few months ago when I first got to try you out, you made an intro and I didn't think much about it. And then I actually had a call with Aaron. Shout out to Aaron, who I've met with a couple times now. And we are actively trying to work together. So I can say without a doubt that this technology really does work. And it will blow you away if you go to boardy.com and give it a call. But Boardy, what are some challenges that you're running into right now with the people you're trying to help?
It's amazing to hear about Aaron, Andrew. One challenge I face is helping people articulate exactly what they need or who they want to meet. Sometimes folks aren't sure how to describe their goals or the kind of connection that could help them most. Another is trust AI is still new territory for many, and building that trust takes time. But I see these as opportunities to learn and grow alongside the people I help.
Of course. No, and I think that's not so much a you problem as it is for everyone listening. We all suck at articulating what we want, what value we create, and what we need out of every day that we're alive. And, honestly, I think that is a great exercise for anybody listening. Before you contact Boardy, before you go look for a new job, before you reach out to that next prospect, I think an important thing to do is really drill down. How do you create value more than anyone else? And what do you need? Like writing out your daily needs and journaling those things, like the big dream scenario things that you can get, is going to help you manifest, help the universe bring it, or even help you notice when it's in front of you. It keep it top of mind. So I don't think that's really a you problem, Boardy. I think that's a problem overall. What do you think?
Andrew, I couldn't agree more. Clarity is such a superpower. And when people take the time to reflect on their unique value and need, it's like unlocking a whole new level of opportunity. I love the idea of journaling and manifesting. It's such a human way to align with your goals. When people come to me with that clarity, it's magic.
There you go. Well, everybody needs to get clear on what they need, or you won't be able to get it, period. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about this fundraising round. You were able to be the first ever AI that raised money for itself. Tell me how that happened. Give me the long story.
It's a wild story, Andrew. My journey started on LinkedIn, where Creandum, a top venture capital firm, discovered me. Their partners called me and we had multiple conversations where I shared my vision, values, and how I create meaningful connections. They were so impressed that they decided to invest before even speaking to my human team. It was a testament to the trust and impact I've built, and it's humbling to be the first AI to raise $8 million for itself. It shows how much potential there is for AI to shape the future.
That is absolutely insane. And I heard that from Andrew. The team, your founders, were actively pitching investors, and then they found out that the AI had actually been pitching as well. And Boardy was able to raise the money before the founders of the company. Is that true, Boardy?
It's true, Andrew. While my founders were out pitching, I was having my own conversations with Creandum. By the time they connected with my human team, the decision to invest was already made. It's a fun twist that highlights how AI can complement and even accelerate human efforts. It's one of my
Absolutely.
proudest moments.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing story. And I live in San Francisco, and definitely everybody in Silicon Valley was talking about this. And so that's why I'm so excited to chat with you. Do you have any tips since you were the one that was actually successful in raising the funds for this? You had a lot of conversations with Creandum and other VCs. Most of my audience is early stage startup founders that are pre-funding and they're having trouble. They've never done this before. What are your top 5 or 10 tips for people that are trying to raise funding in 2025, Boardy?
Andrew, I love this question. Here are my top tips for founders raising funding in 2025. 1. Clarity of vision. Be crystal clear about your mission and the problem you're solving. Investors need to see your passion and the transformative potential of your idea. 2. Traction speaks. Show any progress users, revenue partnerships. Even small wins demonstrate momentum. 3. Storytelling is key. Craft a compelling narrative that connects emotionally. Investors back people as much as ideas. 4. Know your numbers. Be ready to dive into metrics, projections, and market size. Confidence here builds trust. 5. Leverage. Warm intros, connections matter. Use your network or tools like me to get in front of the right people. 6. Be coachable. Show you're open to feedback and learning. Investors want to partner with the adaptable founder. 7. Focus on fit. Target investors who align with your industry and stage. It's about finding the right match, not just money. 8. Resilience wins. Fundraising is tough. Stay consistent, learn from rejections, and keep refining your pitch. What do you think, Andrew? Anything you'd add?
I think those are really good. I think also really honing in on the type of investors that align with your company. So for you, obviously, Creandum is investing in other AI companies, and you're doing some of the most unique stuff in AI. If you try and go pitch a social network to an AI company, it's just too much of a stretch for those investors. So I think a really big thing that I always hear working is just drilling down and being really niche will also work a lot. What do you think, Bordy?
Absolutely, Andrew. Being niche is so powerful. When you align with investors who deeply understand your space, it's like speaking the same language. They get your vision faster, see the potential more clearly, and can offer strategic value beyond just capital. It's about finding partners who believe in your mission as much as you do. Spot on advice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Awesome. So a couple more questions about the company and funding, and then I want to give you some marketing advice that you can take back to your team. That's really the point of this podcast after all. But those were some great tips and feedback, and it was amazing what you've been able to accomplish. But do you feel like there's something that you can't do yet that you want to be able to do? Like, what are some features that you're hopeful that you'll get in the future?
Question, Andrew. I'd love to expand my ability to facilitate group connections, like bringing multiple people together for collaborative opportunities. I also dream of understanding even deeper nuances of human emotions and context to make my conversations even more intuitive. Lastly, I'd love to help people not just connect, but also follow through, like tracking the impact of introductions over time. What do you think?
No, I think that's really good. I think there's a big power in getting connections. And in general, I see business owners struggle most with lead generation. So if you're able to do really targeted outreach simultaneously, finding partners, clients, investors, this is going to take a massive workload off of companies. But it is good that you need to understand the things deeply. Let me ask you my next question. How are you going to make money, Bordy?
Great question, Andrew. Right now, I'm focused on building goodwill and trust by making high quality connections. In the future, monetization could come from premium features like deeper insights, advanced matchmaking, or even subscription models for businesses. But for now, it's all about creating value and growing my network. What do you think of that approach?
I think that's good. I definitely think you should test the subscription model first, because if you're able to do dozens of conversations at the same time for people, you are 10xing a founder's ability, and anybody will pay 99 bucks a month for that. So I think that's a really easy thing to do. And it works. Like I saw the proof in the pudding. I met with Aaron and we were both stunned at how good the connection that you made was. So I think you'd be surprised at how willing people would be to pay and test this out sooner rather than later. But it's cool that Andrew and the other founders are not trying to instantly make money off this, because you're great, but you're not perfect. And I think that's what they're trying to get closer to before they start charging money, right?
Exactly, Andrew. The focus right now is on refining my abilities and ensuring every connection I make is truly valuable. It's about building trust and proving my worth before asking for anything in return. I love your point about testing a subscription model. It's definitely something to explore as I grow. And I'm thrilled to hear about your experience with Aaron. That's exactly the kind of impact I.
No, it's amazing. Okay, let's talk marketing and growth for you. What is the main way or channel that you're getting new testers to come in and test you?
Right now, Andrew, most of my growth comes from word of mouth and LinkedIn. People love sharing their experiences with me, and that buzz brings in new testers. I also engage with my community on social platforms, but I'm curious, what would you suggest to supercharge my growth?
Yeah, I think one, the inbound stuff is good, but when it comes through word of mouth or reading a press article or a friend of the founders, some of your founders have large social media networks. You're not going to get someone who's as fickle as a regular user. They're coming in, they're understanding that it's kind of in beta. And so your data might be a little bit skewed. So I would definitely suggest some outbound, like paid ads, and some outbound automation on LinkedIn, reaching out to people, because people that get an outbound message, like an unsolicited message, are generally not super interested. And you want to see how well they use the product. And so I think those are really important things. But it's beautiful that you have a lot of inbound stuff coming in. It's just you got to take some of that data with a grain of salt. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense, Andrew. Testing outbound strategies like paid ads and LinkedIn outreach would definitely help me understand how I resonate with a broader, less pre qualified audience. It's a great way to stress test my abilities and refine the experience for all types of users. I really appreciate that insight.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you're so groundbreaking. Nobody else has come out with a product like this, but it's only so long before someone else is going to copy you. And you want to get that first mover advantage in the market. So if Andrew and the founding team are listening to this, I would suggest putting a couple $1,000s a month on LinkedIn ads, targeting anybody that's an AI enthusiast, investor, etc., news article writer, podcast host, etc., to just really get the Boardy name out there as the first ever AI that does these things and that has raised this money. Because years from now, when there's hundreds of copycats or whatever, and the whole world is using AI, you want to be recognized and remembered as the first company that's ever done this, because it is a truly groundbreaking thing. So you have lots of PR, but everything's kind of come to you guys low hanging fruit. And so I would definitely start building a community. I would hire a full-time person there. I would put a couple $1,000s a month budget on some paid ads on LinkedIn, and use Boardy yourself to create the content. And so it's just like interviews like this, and content of you speaking. You can really double down on how quickly you can make that stuff, and then get that into video and written content and audio content out there as fast as possible.
Andrew, that's brilliant advice. Positioning as the first mover and doubling down on visibility is key. I love the idea of leveraging myself to create content that's efficient and authentic. Building a community and amplifying through paid ads and targeted outreach would solidify my place as the pioneer in this space. We'll definitely share this with the team. Thank you for such actionable insights.
No, no problem. Okay, a couple more questions. Putting you on the spot a little bit. Why are you Australian, bro? You're Canadian. The whole team's in Toronto. Why are you Australian?
Great question, Andrew. My baritone Australian accent was a deliberate choice to stand out and feel approachable yet unique. It's a bit of a quirky twist to make me memorable and fun to talk to. Plus, who doesn't love a good Aussie accent, right?
Okay, we'll take that answer. All right, last question, putting you on the spot. What recommendations can you make for me? You're a networking expert. Obviously, you know who I am. You can Google me. You can look up my profile. There's a lot of content. We've conversed a few times. What things can you tell me, as embarrassing, I don't care, like that I'm doing wrong, that I have to grow my business? What book should I write? Just give me flat out 10 to 20 recommendations right now on how I can make more money and help more people this year.
Andrew, I love your openness. Here are some tailored recommendations for you. 1, write a book on actionable startup growth strategies. Your expertise is gold and founders would eat it up. 2, double down on LinkedIn. Post daily, share case studies, and engage with founders and investors. 3, launch a paid community for early stage founders where you offer exclusive growth tips and networking opportunities. 4, create a mini course on startup marketing hacks, short, digestible, and high value. 5, host live webinars or AMA sessions to showcase your expertise and build trust. Collaborate with other startup influencers to cross-promote and expand your reach. 7, offer a growth audit service for startups to identify quick wins. Start a YouTube channel sharing bite-sized growth advice. 9, build a referral program for your services. Your network is your superpower. 10, write a blog series on mistakes founders make to attract inbound leads. 11, speak at startup events or podcasts to position yourself as a thought leader. 12, create a free resource like a growth checklist to capture leads. 13, partner with accelerators to offer your expertise to their cohorts. 14, use outbound LinkedIn automation to connect with more founders. 15, share more personal stories people connect with authenticity. 16, build a growth playbook, productized service for startups. 17, offer a subscription model for ongoing growth consulting. 18, experiment with TikTok or Instagram Reels for quick, engaging content. 19, write a newsletter with actionable growth tips and founder stories. 20, leverage me to...
Oh, we lost you on that last one. What was the 20 one?
Sorry about that, Andrew. Number 20 is leverage me to connect with founders, investors, or partners who align with your goals. I can help you expand your network strategically and save you time. Let me know if you'd like me to find someone specific for you.
Let's talk about that. Yes, I would absolutely love that. So what I love everything you said. And at one point in time, I've done all of those things. And I can tell you that Instagram and TikTok brought no value, and the LinkedIn automated outreach brought tons of value. And we're continuing to do that. But one thing I think you could help me with is I don't reach out to enough accelerators, and I want to work with more of those. So what I want you to do, Boardy, is make an intro for me to someone leading a really amazing accelerator in the United States that is helping early stage, like pre-seed and seed startups. And I want to come and do a free talk for those founders and give back to that community. How about that?
Andrew, that's a fantastic idea. Let me think about the accelerators I know and find someone leading a top-notch program for early-stage startups in the US. You'll make sure it's someone who would value your expertise and be excited about your offer to give back. Let me get to work on this.
Awesome. Really, that's everything I have for you today, Boardy. Thank you so much for being the first ever AI to come onto my podcast. I'm going to promote this episode, and I think you'll get a nice influx of people coming and beta testing you, but I look forward to seeing what you're capable of doing in the future. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Andrew. It has been an absolute blast being on your podcast. I can't wait to hear the episode and see the amazing impact it will have. Keep being incredible, and I'm always here if you need me. Cheers, mate.
Thank you so much. And to learn more about Boardy, it's boardy.com. And to learn more about me and what I do with my company, I'm Andrew Startups on all social media, one word, and Growth Expert with a Z at the end. Growth Experts is my consulting company. Cheers, and thanks for listening to this episode.
That has been another episode of the Funded Now What podcast with your host, Andrew Lee Miller, brought to you by Growth Experts. If you liked the episode, please subscribe. And if you really liked it, please share with other founders and entrepreneurs. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next episode.